YouTube, what's going on? It's your girl Telly. Welcome back to TelliVision87. Let's jump into it right now. Another episode of Basketball Wives. Okay, this is gonna be like Jackie versus Jenn part 2, but we'll get into all that in a minute. But first off, the show opens up with Jackie and Duffy. You know, Duffy comes over to Jackie's place. They're having some drinks and they're just talking about Jenn's comment about the real estate and the houses, you know, they give the white girls on Selling Sunset. And Jackie is still telling Duffy how she felt some type of way about it. So, but that she still should not have called Jenn a donkey, giraffe, whatever it was. She shouldn't have called her a name, and she's gonna meet with Jenn to apologize. So after that whole conversation, Jackie is talking to Duffy like, hey, look, me and Doug, you know, we have a spot in Sacramento and he's about to, you know, wrap up some things there. We're gonna have a little downtime, so I would love for y'all to come see how we operate, you know, in that space. So Duffy's down to go, and she's been away from the ladies. I believe they talk about the smash room. That's how the whole real estate comment came up again. They were talking about the smash room and everything that was going on there. So next we have Angel and Brandy. Now, shout out to Brandy for this because she did something really nice. She came over to Angel's place, had flowers for the little girl. I believe her name is Amani. Was asking her, you know, how the daughter's doing. She got her blood work done. Blood work came back fine, so still have to monitor. But all in all, they think the girl's gonna be okay. But I thought that was a really nice gesture for Brandy to bring over the flowers and just, you know, send thoughts and prayers. So after they get done talking about that, they switch into, now Angel's whole storyline this season is basically her managing her stress and how she's juggling work and the kids and dealing with postpartum and all that. And Brandy tells her like, hey, look, you know, you can't beat yourself up. I know it could be hard, it could be challenging, but she was just sharing some stories about how she was after she had her child, and just telling Angel, hey, look, just take it one day at a time and you'll make it through. So eventually we'll see Angel and British at a like a support group for mommies, but we'll get into that in a second. But that's kind of like what that conversation was leading up to. So before we get to that, we have Brooke meeting with her husband. Okay, and they meet up for lunch. The husband, of course, the husband is doing everything now, like texting, calling, wanting to see Brooke, like wearing her down. Okay, wearing her down. So she's like, all right, we could meet up. He, of course, doesn't want to get the divorce. Brooke is still contemplating. She's open to have a conversation, to go to counseling, you know, that sort of thing. Maybe not counseling just yet, but at least open to a conversation. The husband wants back in fully. He said he's going to do whatever he has to do to show Brooke that he's in this. And he said it got real for him when Brooke left, packed up her stuff and left the place. But my thing is, why for some guys does it take all of that? It took him just then to realize, like, oh snap, I'm about to lose my wife. Like, why would you have to push her all the way to the edge to where she's so fed up that she's ready to pack up her stuff, move out, and divorce you? It was like at that moment it hit you. It's crazy. But Brooke says she want to try to work it out. So fine. That's what she want to try to do. Brandy and Jason, they meet up with Jackie and Doug. They're gonna have dinner because Jason has been doing some coaching for the G League, so he wants to pick Doug's brain about how to, continue on with that journey. Maybe one day coach an NBA team. He's asking them, how do you do the work-life balance? How is that going? How is it different from coaching versus actually playing? And they have a nice conversation. So Jackie extends the invite to Brandy. Hey, come on to Sacramento. I'm planning a little girls trip. All the girls are invited. Let's go. Let's have a good time. Brandy's in. So that's a bet. And man, have any of y'all ever been to Sacramento? I have not. Never even been to California before. But I don't know. They're excited to go to Sacramento anytime, just to get away, have some girls time, chill out, which those trips never end up being chill. But okay, so next scene we have Duffy and British. They're in the backyard playing some hoops, and British comes in and she's like, Duffy, why would you post that story on your social media with Malaysia and your waist trainer? So this is the thing that Jackie brings up when her and Duffy first meet up in that scene. Apparently, Duffy has some waist trainer. She's doing some entrepreneurial thing or whatever. Malaysia had on the waist trainer. Was like, look, posted it, for free on her social media, endorsing the product, saying, hey, this waist trainer got me snatched, blah, 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 blah. And Duffy reposted. But it looks crazy because it's like, Brandy and Malaysia not really seeing eye to eye. They're not really cool like that. And then it came after the fact when Duffy and Brandy had that blow up at the fashion show. So British is looking at her like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? And Duffy is like, I did it. I wasn't even thinking about, Brandy at the time. I was just excited. Malaysia posted that on her platform for free and possibly got me all of this new business. It was no shade, no nothing like that. But Duffy says, I don't owe Brandy no loyalty. I don't owe her no loyalty. Now that was shade. And British don't like that. She don't like that. And I didn't care for that either. I was sitting there looking at like, well, damn. I know her and Brandy haven't been getting along the best, but they've known each other for so long. And her and Malaysia, they just kind of starting to build that friendship like that. But I thought that was a low blow. Now, if Duffy would have just said, I wasn't thinking about Brandy, it was no shade, no ill intent, but I don't really have to, explain to her my social media posts like that or whatever. But she says she don't owe her no loyalty. It's like, where did the loyalty part jump in? It's like she felt that from, deep within for her to just say it like that. And if I was Brandy, I would definitely feel some type of way about it, which we will find out why she felt some type of way about it. Because, oh my goodness. Okay, now before we get to why Brandy is going to have a cow about that comment, we get Jackie, British, and Brooke. They are, just walking along, taking a walk, having a conversation about the whole situation with Jenn, and that Jackie just wants to make amends. So that's when Jackie extends the invitation to those two. Hey, come to Sacramento, blah, 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 blah. And they're basically telling Jackie, British and Brooke, like, hey, Jenn, you know what I'm saying? She, even though y'all kind of sort of talk, she still really felt the way that you you know, was calling her names and all of that stuff. So yeah, you gotta, you know, sit down and have a talk, and you gotta make that right. So that's what Jackie's gonna do. So now we get before we get to the next scene, we're also talking about Duffy and Brandy, you know, their drama, and what Duffy had just told British, like she don't owe no loyalty to Brandy, and they both looking like what? Like, why would she say that? You know, they was really confused about that as well. So British is conflicted. She doesn't want to cause any more of a tiff between them, but she feels like, you know, if I was Brandy and my so-called friend was talking about she don't owe me no loyalty, then I would want to know. So she's going to tell Brandy the business. But before we get to that, British and Angel, they meet up and go to like a mommy support group, what I was talking about earlier. So we find out a lot in this support group, where British was going through, her father had passed away a month before she gave birth to her daughter, which is, I can't even imagine. You're literally mourning a death and then you're celebrating a life. Like, I don't even know how she got through that. And of course, British starts crying. The other ladies are, you know, there to comfort and be supporting. So she talks about how that was really, really hard. She used to stay in a bed and eat mashed potatoes all day. Like, she just was in a rut for a long time. And Angel shares her story. I had no clue. Did y'all ever hear about any of these stories prior to this? This was my first time hearing about any of their stories like this. Angel's baby daddy took his own life before the baby was born. So also mourning a death and then celebrating a life, you know, very, very close. Like, that is very, very, I couldn't imagine. I really couldn't imagine. So, like, shout out to Angel and British for sharing their stories, because they didn't have to do that. They could have just kept it real surface level. But at this point, everybody in the meeting, everybody crying. At this point, they all, you know, tell each other thank you for sharing stories, and they enjoyed the meeting, the bonding experience. And basically, women who go through postpartum, you're not crazy, you're not, you know, it's gonna be a part of it. Some women get it, some women don't. But if you feel off, then go to the doctor. Don't beat yourself up. Take it day by day. Angel also says that she feels like she failed her children because she can't really seem to get the work-life balance to where she thinks that it should be. And that was really touching to watch. So yeah, that's crazy. But and I wish we could kind of see more of those stories, because Basketball Wives is just so a hot mess sometimes. I would like to see more of these stories every now and then. Just putting that out there. So it just won't be a whole bunch of foolishness all the time. You gotta have something to break it up. So we get Jackie and Jenn together. Jackie goes over to Jenn's place. They are talking. Jackie says she was stressed out, blah, 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 blah. That selling sunset comment really hurt her feelings. But even in all of that, she shouldn't have been name calling. She apologized. She wanna invite Jenn to Sacramento. So come on there, chill with Doug, with her and Doug, and you know, just catch some vibes. And Jackie also gives Jenn a candle, and again mentions Jelani, which is like, ooh, but we don't see Jelani on this episode though. So now we get to British and Brandy. This is the scene where British tells Brandy, hey, look, Duffy is on something. I don't know what she's on, but she said that she don't owe you no loyalty regarding that social media post, about Malaysia with the waist trainer on, yada, yada, yada. She said she don't owe you no loyalty. And baby, Brandy is upset. Brandy is hot. And like I said, if I was her, I would be too, because Brandy goes on to tell us, like, look, this girl was sleeping in my basement. I brought her here. I put her, I try to help put her on to get her a better opportunity, get her some exposure. And then she gonna tell me she don't owe me no loyalty. Like, what type of mess is that? The British just, Brandy is getting really riled up. British is like, oh, just it's gonna be all right. Just calm down. But baby, Brandy's upset. She got to go. She about to walk out the scene and everything. And but do y'all think British should have told that to Brandy? I think that was a good move. I think so, because that was all their talks about bettering their communication, this, that, and the third. Like, Duffy was doing good, but now Duffy, you done went backwards with the I don't owe her no loyalty. Like, ouch. So hold on, y'all. These cars are trying to pass me right quick. I ain't trying to cause no accident. I saw a 7-car pileup earlier, and then some. This has nothing to do with the review, y'all, but I'm going off on a little tangent real quick. And then another guy got hit on a motorcycle. The guy was riding a motorcycle, got hit by a car. Like, it must have just happened, because when I drove by, the man was still laying on the ground. Like, he looked delirious, like you got stars in your eyes. He looked very just like, what the heck just happened? So I hope he's still alive, so he all right. But yeah, people just be driving crazy. But anyway, back to the review. So now we get to the Sacramento trip. Doug and Jackie, they in there in the kitchen. They cooking salmon or whatever. Jackie's getting hot, okay? Let me tell you something. Say what you want about Jackie, but she love her husband, okay? And she don't play about Doug. In there, Jackie like, ooh, do we got time for a little quickie or something? So they getting the salmon together. Doug runs up, is like, Jackie, you got to clean this, because I got to go blah, 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 do something else. She gets everything, leaves the house, goes to meet the girls at this location. They're gonna have drinks and some fruit, some just some snacks or whatever. All the ladies get there, and we find out that British was kind of stressed because she didn't know if she could even travel or not. Turns out the judge had approved her traveling, and she was stressed for no daggone reason. So we get there, they toast, they're gonna have a good time. Now, this is where it gets shaky, because everybody is going to their rooms. Y'all know how this works in reality shows. Everybody goes to see their room, or either they competing over who get the best room, yada, yada, yada. They go to the rooms, and I think the rooms are nice. The rooms are nice to me. Some people have like a mini suite, and some people just have like the bed and like the little area where you could lay your suitcase on or whatever. I guess the ottoman. So I don't remember exactly who had what room, but I think Angel may have had one of the rooms that was kind of like a suite. So I know there was 2 rooms like that, and then all the rest of them were just your regular average room. So Jenn sees the room. She cut him up, okay? She pissed off. She was like, deluxe? she get Jackie on the phone. Well, but first, before she called Jackie, the rest of the ladies meet up in the room and in one of the suites. And Jenn is like, oh, you have this in your room? Like, what is going on? Why would Jackie try to do me like that? And the ladies are like, you think it's some underlying shade? Jenn is like, yeah. Get Jackie on the phone. Jackie, do you think I'm a deluxe bitch? Do I look like a deluxe bitch to you? Jackie's like, Jenn, what are you talking about? Like, what is going on? You don't like the room? Nah, bitch, I don't like the room. Bop-a-bop-a-bop-a-dop-a-doo. And so Jackie's like, well, wait a minute. Don't be coming at me, talking to me the old kind of way. And then that's how it goes off. So, to me, Jenn has always been, like, super bougie. There was nothing wrong with that damn room. And you don't even know the reason why you didn't have a room. Like I said, I think Angel got one of the other rooms. Could it be that maybe she gave the bigger room to Angel because Angel had a lot more going on than what you was going through? Could it have been that? I don't know who had the other room. Maybe it could have been British. British got some legal troubles going on. Now, we really don't know what's going on with that, but that's also very stressful. More stressful than, whatever you may have going on. So, who knows why Jackie picked certain rooms for certain people or whatever, but Jenn just made an ass of herself. And it looks like next episode, Jackie gonna kick Jenn off the trip, and she absolutely had every right to. Yeah, she absolutely had every right to. So let me know what you guys think about this episode. Drop your comments about Jenn. Should she have been mad, or should she have just been glad your ass got invited to go somewhere any daggone way? Because Jackie didn't even have to invite you. Didn't have to apologize. Didn't have to do nothing. Now, we know we talk about Jackie or whatever, but I don't really think Jackie was wrong in this instance. So let me know what y'all think. Drop your thoughts below. It's your girl Telly, TelliVision87 channel, and I will talk to y'all in another video soon. Until then, peace.